topic that we have to discuss is about the cash reserve ratio. So as you know, this would fall under your economy section of your current affairs. Okay, so there is a recent discussion that maybe the RBI would be changing the cash reserve ratio. So it brings into question, what is this cash reserve ratio and why are we concerned about it? Cash reserve ratio is a percentage of a bank's public deposit that the bank must maintain as a cash reserve. For example, I'll tell you. A bank might have 100 crore. RBI says cash reserve ratio is maybe 5%. That means 5% of 100 crore, what has to be maintained? It has to be maintained as a cash reserve with your RBI. Who has to maintain? That particular bank has to maintain that as a cash reserve with RBI. Why is that important? It's important because in any case of any issue that, if the bank fails or anything, this serves like a reserve fund for the bank to start off on again. Okay. So, percentage of bank's public deposit that it must be maintaining as cash reserves. It applies to all your scheduled commercial banks, excluding your regional rural banks. They don't have to maintain cash reserve ratio, primarily because their number of deposits are also very, very less. When I am saying it has to be maintained with the RBI, I want you to understand either they can store it in the bank's vault itself or they can send it to the RBI also. The banks don't get any interest on this. It's not like a fixed deposit where they'll get some percentage after that. No, it's just like a safety measure. The bigger impact of cash reserve ratio is when you maintain a certain amount of money as a reserve, you cannot use that money for lending purpose. Okay. So, what happens is, if the bank wants or if RBI wants to reduce the amount of money that is out in the market, that is available for lending, what they will do? They will increase the cash reserve ratio. If they increase the cash reserve ratio, that much amount of money will have to be stored with the RBI. That much amount of money will not be available for lending to the outside areas, outside customers. Got it? So, why are we doing this? If at all, any kind of excessive lending has to be checked, the bank will increase, RBI will increase the cash reserve ratio. If there is inflation in the country, what is inflation? Inflation at the end of the day, it's basically the increase in money supply that is there in your economy. So, what happens is if I want to actually have a reduction in that money supply, the bank should have lesser lending power. The bank will have lesser lending power when that money is put into as some kind of a reserve. So, in both of these cases, to check inflation and to check excessive lending, RBI might at times increase your cash reserve ratio. And vice versa, if it wants to have more money supply in the market, it will decrease the cash reserve ratio. So, I hope that concept is clear to you. The next I want to discuss is ICIMOD. You can put it under your environment or your geography section. What is ICIMOD? ICIMOD basically stands for International Center for Integrated Mountain Development. Okay. So, you know, mountain development, and I'm telling in this specific area, if you look at all of the countries' maps that are given over here, which mountains are we speaking about? We are primarily speaking about your Himalaya, Hindu Kush region, and ICIMOD has recently, they had a meeting. So, the meeting, and it's not relevant, I just wanted you to be familiar with this organization. So, the meeting primarily said we have to take important measures to preserve the Himalayan area, to reduce the tourism in this area, etc. primarily because it is causing an environmental impact. Now, I just want you to understand who all are the countries involved in it, etc. This is an organization that came about in 1983. It is an intergovernmental organization. It works to improve the lives of people in the Hindu Kush region. And which are the countries involved in it? So, you have Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar, Nepal, and Pakistan. Okay, so you have 8 countries involved in it, and if you look at from India's perspective, all of India's neighbors, excluding your Sri Lanka, is there part of this list which is there. So you have your Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar, Nepal, and Pakistan. So they are all members of your ICIMOD, and the primary idea is Himalaya, Hindu Kush region and the people living in this area there to protect their resources and culture.